And let's not even get into how your favorite actress has been lying to your faces, using her co-stars for clout and attention, rage baiting her fans and all that bullshit.
Cynthia Erivo's girlfriend is officially done staying quiet, and she is calling Ariana Grande out in a way that has people staring at their screens in shock. The accusation is bold. She is saying Ariana used Cynthia during the Wicked promo run, built a whole emotional storyline around their connection, and then stepped back the second it was no longer useful. And she is not whispering this either. She is making it clear that in her view, this was calculated. Look back at that promo season. Ariana and Cynthia were everywhere together. Interviews, red carpets, backstage moments, press junkets. They were emotional, holding hands, tearing up mid-sentence, leaning into each other like they were bonded for life. They talked about soul connections, forever friendship, matching tattoos, and holding space in ways that felt deeply personal. Fans were replaying those clips nonstop because the energy felt intense. Some people were even questioning whether they were watching standard promo chemistry or something more layered unfolding in real time. The closeness became part of the Wicked narrative. It was not just about the film anymore, it was about their bond. The interviews felt intimate. The body language was strong. The way they looked at each other had fans dissecting every frame. Social media was flooded with edits, theories, and emotional reactions.
This week, people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that.
I didn't know that that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know how widespread, but I am in queer media, so that's my,
It's really cool.
It kept the movie trending and kept both of them at the center of conversation. Then suddenly, silence. No more emotional shout-outs, no best friend captions, no red carpet hand-holding, no public reassurance that the connection was still there. Just distance. And that is when the blind items started appearing, claiming Ariana slowly pulled back and began separating herself from Cynthia behind the scenes. Some even suggest Ariana may have shifted blame for certain tensions onto Cynthia. That is where things move from awkward to serious. Lena Waithe is reportedly not just calling this a friendship fallout. She is framing it as something bigger. The claim is that the ultra-touchy, emotionally charged press tour moments were amplified on purpose to dominate headlines and keep fans invested. That is a serious allegation. It suggests strategy, not spontaneity. And here is what really turned heads. Once the promo dust settled, Ariana appeared to reconnect publicly with Ethan Slater. To some observers, it looked like the Wicked era bond was suddenly erased, like Cynthia was part of a chapter that closed quietly. If that perception sticks, it changes how people interpret that entire award season run. Now people are asking real questions. Was the connection authentic but short-lived, or was it heightened for visibility? Either way, this situation is unfolding fast, and if more details surface, it could shift the entire narrative around that Wicked promo season in a major way. So now the narrative is shifting in a serious way. It is not just about the Wicked era being over and done with. It is about Lena Waithe stepping in and making it clear she feels Cynthia was wronged. And from the way she is telling it, she is not staying neutral at all. She sounds offended on Cynthia's behalf, and the shade aimed at Ariana is impossible to ignore. According to Lena's view, Ariana did not just build a friendship. She allegedly built a strategy. The claim is that Ariana used Cynthia as a public prop during filming and throughout the massive promotional run. Every emotional interview, every tearful moment, every hand squeeze on camera may not have been as spontaneous as it looked. Lena believes Ariana was positioning herself carefully for award season, doing whatever it took to secure praise, headlines, and momentum. And if that meant leaning heavily into that intense bond with Cynthia, then so be it. Then comes the harshest part of the accusation. Once the goal was achieved, once the cameras slowed down, Cynthia was allegedly discarded. The phrase people keep repeating is that she was dropped like a hot potato. That is a strong image, and it paints the situation in a cold light. Of course, some critics are pushing back. They say Lena might just be jealous of how close Ariana and Cynthia became while working together, but fans online are pointing out something that does not sit right. During the promo tour, Ariana and Cynthia were inseparable. They were crying in interviews, promising forever friendship, saying they had been changed for good, and swearing they would always protect that bond. It felt deep. It felt permanent. So where is that energy now? Since the promotional tour wrapped, it has been total silence, no public bestie moments, no continued displays of that intense closeness, just distance. And when you pair that silence with Lena's claims, it starts to look suspicious to some people. Lena is now going even further. She is suggesting that Ariana did not just step away quietly. She is hinting that Ariana may be attempting to shift blame onto Cynthia and paint herself as the victim in whatever tension followed. That is where things get messy in a different way. Fans have already been debating whether their bond looked overly intense or emotionally dependent at times. Now those past conversations are resurfacing, but with a new twist. Was it real and complicated, or was it amplified for impact? The more Lena speaks, the more questions people start asking, and this whole situation is beginning to feel a lot deeper than a simple friendship fading out. Then the conversation took a serious turn online. Fans started pointing out how both Ariana and Cynthia appeared to lose a noticeable amount of weight during the Wicked era. Social media was flooded with side-by-side comparisons, and while there were definitely cruel comments from some corners of the internet, a lot of supporters said they were simply worried. The tone for many was concern rather than mockery. Soon after, headlines began circulating claiming Ariana had to distance herself from Cynthia because Cynthia was somehow connected to Ariana developing an eating disorder. That narrative spread fast. It did not stay in fan spaces either. Blind items began popping up repeating similar claims, adding more fuel to an already sensitive situation. One blind item that gained traction said, "This A-list actress-singer is now blaming her foreign-born co-star for her disorder, and now things are getting better." People immediately started speculating about who that could be referring to. Then more blind items followed. Another claimed the A-list actress and her A-list co-star were no longer speaking, which could make award season uncomfortable. Suddenly, what once looked like an inseparable bond was being described as complete silence behind the scenes. From the outside, it began to look like Ariana was separating herself strategically. Some observers feel the narrative quietly shifted in her favor. Ariana has long presented herself publicly as soft-spoken, fragile, and emotionally open. Because of that image, it becomes easier for some fans to believe she could have been overwhelmed or influenced. Meanwhile, Cynthia was sometimes portrayed online as overly protective or intense during interviews, and that led certain fans to unfairly paint her as controlling. That contrast started shaping how people interpreted the rumors. Another factor people noticed is that Ariana appears healthier recently, with fans commenting that she seems to have gained some weight back. Supporters see that as positive, but critics argue that this visual change also strengthens the storyline that distancing herself from Cynthia helped her, which, if true, shifts blame squarely onto Cynthia without direct statements ever being made. To be clear, none of these blind items are confirmed facts. They are anonymous claims circulating online. But perception can be powerful. And right now, the perception in some spaces is that Ariana quietly allowed Cynthia to take the fall while stepping back into a more sympathetic light herself. If that was intentional, it would be a masterclass in image control. If it was not, then this entire situation might be a mix of speculation spiraling out of control. Either way, the tension around their former closeness is no longer just about friendship. It has turned into a much heavier conversation, and people are watching closely to see what happens next. Now, Lena is not backing down. She is pushing back hard and trying to expose what she believes were Ariana's calculated moves behind the scenes. But according to Lena, this situation is not just about Cynthia being used. She is saying the audience may have been played too. The claim is that many of those emotional, touchy, ultra-close moments between Ariana and Cynthia during the Wicked press tour were not as natural as they seemed. Lena's view is that the energy was amplified on purpose to spark conversation, dominate social media, and pull fans deeper into the narrative. And if that is true, then a lot more strategy may have gone into that press run than anyone realized. Because let's be honest, the physical closeness caught people's attention early. From the very first interviews, something felt different. They were constantly holding hands, leaning into each other, whispering, wiping each other's tears. The body language was intense. Fans started noticing that this looked way more intimate than the typical co-star friendship you usually see during a promo tour. Online reactions grew fast. Some viewers said the chemistry just looked like two people who genuinely connected. Others felt the energy was being pushed a little too far, almost like every appearance had to top the last one. Each new interview seemed more emotional, more physical, more personal. It stopped feeling like standard movie promotion and started feeling like a storyline of its own. And then there was that viral holding space interview. That moment alone sparked endless edits, discussions, and reactions. It became one of the defining images of the entire Wicked campaign. After that, the emotional tone only intensified. Fans started joking that Ariana and Cynthia were turning every appearance into a personal bonding moment challenge. There were also moments where Cynthia appeared extremely protective and supportive of Ariana in public, especially when situations got uncomfortable. Supporters saw that as genuine care, but critics pointed to the pattern and said the dynamic looked unusually intense for a professional partnership. The conversation online became divided, with people reading the same moments in completely different ways. According to Lena's perspective, all of this attention may have been exactly the point. The stronger the emotional narrative, the more headlines, the more engagement, the more people emotionally invested in both of them as a duo. For a while, even people close to the situation were watching how close they seemed. When photos surfaced of Ariana, Cynthia, and Lena together, the dynamic had fans analyzing every detail. The energy between all three became part of the conversation too. Whether the connection was genuine, exaggerated, or simply misinterpreted by the public, one thing is clear. The Wicked press tour created a level of attention around their relationship that went far beyond the movie itself. And now that the distance between Ariana and Cynthia is so noticeable, all those past moments are being re-examined in a completely different light. From Lena's perspective, she was not quietly standing on the sidelines. Even though she is the one actually in a long-term relationship with Cynthia, she did not look like a third wheel during that Wicked era. In fact, she made it clear later that she was uncomfortable with how intense things appeared during the press tour. At one point, Lena even posted a clip from an interview with a caption suggesting that watching Ariana and Cynthia on the press run felt unbearable. That alone had fans raising eyebrows. In another post, she shared a message about maturity in relationships, writing about catching your mind when it starts creating false stories about your partner. People immediately started reading between the lines, wondering if that was directed at the situation unfolding publicly. But the closeness did not stop at emotional interviews and hand-holding. Ariana and Cynthia also got matching tattoos. Yes, matching tattoos. Ariana even wrote a heartfelt message about it, saying, "My Cynthia, I will never forget a second of this time with you. Perhaps the hardest laughs and cries of my life. Yes, you are undoubtedly the fiercest talent to grace the earth, but you are unimaginably an even fiercer friend. I'm so thankful for the incredible privilege that it is knowing and loving you." That message sounded deep, personal, and permanent. On its own, matching tattoos between close friends might not seem like a big deal, but longtime fans know Ariana has a pattern when it comes to ink. She has often marked major relationships with tattoos. When she was with Pete Davidson, getting tattoos together became part of their whirlwind dynamic. They reportedly visited tattoo shops frequently and revealed matching designs, from tiny clouds to tributes connected to personal memories. That history is why people started connecting dots. So when Ariana and Cynthia debuted matching tattoos during such an emotionally intense promo season, social media lit up. Fans immediately began speculating about whether their bond was more than friendship. Some theories went too far, while others simply pointed out the pattern Ariana has shown in past relationships. It also did not help that Ariana has faced public scrutiny before for moving quickly in romances. Because of that history, people were quick to question everything. Cynthia being in a long-term relationship at the time did not stop the speculation machine. Online conversations spiraled, with some fans convinced there was more happening behind closed doors, while others insisted it was just two artists bonding deeply during a major project. Now, with Lena speaking out and the visible distance between Ariana and Cynthia, those old moments are being revisited with fresh eyes. The tattoos, the emotional captions, the intense interviews, all of it feels different when viewed through the lens of today's tension. Whether it was genuine closeness, creative bonding, or something misread by the public, one thing is clear. The Wicked era was not just about a movie, it became a full-blown emotional storyline that people are still trying to decode. Ariana has had a very public relationship history, and people always bring that up when new rumors start swirling. She was married once before, but that marriage lasted around 2 years. Then there was her fast and intense romance with Pete Davidson. That engagement made headlines instantly and ended almost as quickly as it began. Because of that pattern, fans are quick to analyze every new bond she forms. Now here is where things get complicated. According to some insiders, Cynthia may have genuinely felt that her connection with Ariana was deep and meaningful. In an interview with Ella magazine, Cynthia described their first meeting in very emotional terms. She said, "I've gained a sister at this point. We speak almost every day. Both of us were blown away by how connected we were immediately. I remember the first day we got to come together. It was at director John M. Chu's house, and he played some songs for us, and we sang together for the first time." She continued, "It's a very intimate thing to sing with someone. It was one of the most gratifying things to know that there was someone who was that open and available, because she was, and that meant I could be as well." That description sounds heartfelt and sincere. Singing together for the first time can be emotional, especially for two artists who connect creatively. But fans quickly pointed out something interesting. The way Cynthia described that instant connection reminded some people of how Ariana has spoken about past partners. That parallel sparked even more speculation. Online discussions grew louder, with some viewers urging Lena to step in and protect her relationship from what they saw as blurred boundaries. Ariana, for her part, addressed some of the physical closeness during interviews. She explained, "I channel a lot of energy through my hands. I'm always holding a hand, I'm always squeezing something, I'm always reaching for something. It's often who I'm with. I like to channel support energy or whatever." That explanation was meant to clarify that the hand-holding and touching were expressions of support, not necessarily something deeper. Still, conversations online did not slow down. At one point, people began using complicated labels and phrases to describe the dynamic, throwing around terms that left many viewers confused rather than informed. Some felt those descriptions added to the mystery instead of clearing anything up. It started to feel like a lot of words were being used without actually defining what the relationship was. If Lena's accusations are accurate, then the emotional intensity may have served a publicity purpose. If they are not, then this entire situation might be a case of fans reading too deeply into genuine artistic chemistry. Either way, the shift is noticeable. After the promo era ended, Ariana appeared publicly affectionate again with Ethan Slater. That sudden transition made some fans question whether the Wicked bond had been overstated. Right now, people are left debating what was real, what was exaggerated, and what may have simply been misunderstood. The lines between professional closeness, emotional connection, and public perception have clearly blurred, and that is why this story refuses to fade quietly. And just like that, it feels like the whole Cynthia Erivo chapter disappeared overnight. One minute it was soulmate interviews, matching tattoos, emotional speeches, forever energy. The next minute, silence. No public support, no best friend moments, no sign of that intense bond that once dominated every headline. It is not hard to see why Lena appears frustrated. From her perspective, it looks like Cynthia was part of a rollout. the hand-holding, the tearful interviews, the viral holding space clips, the deep declarations of connection, all of it built a narrative that fans invested in emotionally. And now that the Wicked promo wrapped, that narrative seems to have been shelved just as quickly. There are even whispers that Ariana and Cynthia are no longer speaking. At the same time, headlines are shifting, conversations are changing, and Ariana appears to be stepping into a completely different chapter, like that entire era never happened. That sudden pivot is what has people raising eyebrows. According to Lena's view, the closeness was not organic. She is suggesting it was strategic, a powerful award season storyline that served its purpose. And once the buzz was locked in, once the momentum was secured, the bond became disposable. If that is true, then this was not just a friendship fading naturally. It would mean the entire dynamic was part of branding. Of course, not everyone agrees with that take. Some believe it was a genuine connection that simply cooled off after an intense work period. Others think the public just read too much into normal co-star closeness. But what cannot be denied is how fast the "we will be in each other's lives forever" energy disappeared. That shift happened quickly and fans noticed. So now the real questions begin. Did something major happen behind the scenes? Was there pressure we did not see? Or was the entire connection amplified for attention from the start? What do you think? Was the Wicked bond authentic and complicated, or carefully crafted for headlines? Do you believe Lena is exposing something real, or is this just emotions running high? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you want more deep dives like this. And I will see you on the next one.